We will talk about permutations and combinations today. Permutations and combinations are fascinating to learn. At the end of this lecture, you should understand the difference between permutations and combinations. In daily life, we commonly use the word combination. For example, a combination lock. A combination lock is a lock where we can set a code to open the lock by arranging different number of digits on it. However, I will tell you today that the name of this lock should be a permutation lock because the arrangement of digits on this lock is not a combination, it is a permutation. You will also learn about the types of permutations and combinations. Each of them has two kinds. You will also be able to use formulas to calculate the number of permutations and combinations for any situation. Suppose a situation in which you have red and blue balls. You have a frame with two boxes in it. I ask you to pick up a pair of red and blue balls. My question is, how many different arrangements can you make by putting these balls into the frame boxes? Let's do it together. In the first arrangement, I can put blue ball into the left box and red ball in the right box. Next, I can put red ball in the left box and blue ball in the right box. These are two different arrangements I can make. No other configuration is possible. If you think you can, let me know. You must observe one thing here, that in such an arrangement, order matters. It means the first arrangement is different from the second arrangement just because the relevant positions of the balls are different. For example, the position of blue ball in the first arrangement is in the left box, but the position of blue ball in the second arrangement is in the right box. And just because the relevant positions of the balls are different, these are two different arrangements. Such an ordered arrangement is called a permutation. So this is the first permutation, this is the second permutation. There are total two permutations in this situation. So if order matters, it's a permutation. If order does not matter, it's a combination. In this example, I can make two permutations but only one combination, because no matter how do I arrange the balls, it's always the same combination. A combination does not care about the position of the objects in the arrangement. I said at the beginning of the lecture that a combination lock should be called a permutation lock. The reason is the arrangement we make on the lock is not a combination, it's a permutation. For example, if I set a code of 1, 2, 3, 6, you cannot open the lock with 6, 3, 2, 1. Even though you are using the same number of digits and same digits, the position or order of the digits is not same. So it means order or position matters in case of a combination lock. So if order matters, it's a permutation. So it is a permutation lock. If you go shopping next time, tell the shopkeeper if he has a permutation lock. Don't worry, it's okay to use non-standard words in daily life, but not in professional matters. We commonly use the word weight in our daily life. For example, I say my weight is 60 kilograms. It is actually mass, not weight. Mass and weight are two different quantities in physics. So now you know the difference between permutation and combination. In the permutation, order matters, and in the combination, order does not matter. Now there are two further categories of each of this type. For example, for the permutation, there can be two types. In in the one, repetition is allowed, and in the other type of permutation, repetition not allowed, because it matters when you want to form a permutation. It matters if a repetition is allowed or repetition is not allowed. Similarly, for the combination, we will have two type of combinations, the one in which repetition is allowed and the other in which repetition is not allowed, because the relevant formulas will be different for each type. If repetition is allowed and not allowed, the number of arrangements will be different, so the relevant formulas will also be different. So let me explain it into more detail. For example, suppose you have red and blue balls, and I ask you to pick up a pair of balls. So if you remember, initially I put a restriction that pick a pair of red and blue balls. Now there is no restriction. You can pick any two balls, whatever you want, and put them into the frame boxes. If there is no condition, then you may pick two blue balls and make an arrangement. So blue balls. The next time you may pick two red balls and put them in this frame of two boxes. So there are two red balls. So what other different combination or permutation you can make or arrangement you can make? So next time you can pick a red and blue balls and put the blue ball first and red ball in the second box. Next time you can put the red ball in the left box and blue ball in the right box. So you see, when repetition is allowed, you can make more arrangements. For example, see in the first box, because repetition is allowed, so you are repeating blue balls. You put blue ball in the left and then you put once again blue ball in the right box. So this is an arrangement of two balls with the same color. The next time you also repeated the red balls, and then the third and fourth are different, but the relevant positions and the relevant positions are different also. So the third one and fourth one. So you see, when repetition is allowed, you can make more arrangements. On the other hand, if repetition is not allowed, you can only make two arrangements. And remember, these are permutations. We are not talking about combinations. So first we will talk about permutations, and there are two types: when repetition allowed and when repetition is not allowed. So you see, when repetition is not allowed, you can make less number of arrangements or less number of permutations. But when repetition is allowed, you can make more permutations. So this is the difference. So that's why we will have different formulas to calculate the number of permutations possible with that condition. So let's go and check if we can find the relevant formulas. We have two variables here if you think it logically, because these two variables will affect the number of permutations possible in certain situation. For example, the first is the number n. We call it n. This is total number of distinct balls. I know you can have unlimited number of balls, but the distinct balls are two, if you remember, red and blue. So n is equal to 2, because this variable matters and it will affect to the number of permutations possible. Because of this n, you can only make 4 permutations if the repetition is allowed. So n is the total number of distinct choices you have. So in this case, n is equal to 2. And another variable which
which affects the number of permutations possible for certain situation is R. This is actually size of the permutations. For example, I told you that you have a frame of two boxes. So now you are limited. You cannot increase the size of the permutation. For example, you cannot put another ball to the left or right side. You are limited. So the size of permutation is 2. So in this situation, R is equal to 2. And if you think about these arrangements, you will know that only these two variables will determine how many permutations are possible for any given situation. And I know this must be very confusing to differentiate N and R. So next we will solve an example, and I hope you will understand it very clearly. N is the total number of distinct choices available to you or to pick up, and R is the size of the permutation. For example, we can increase the size of the permutation. I can make another box here, and now I can say, okay, now you can put the balls into 3 boxes of this frame. And if you see, now you can make more permutations because now you have one extra box, and you can put another ball here and the number of permutations will increase. So the R and N, it matters. For example, if I increase N, I add another ball here with not red and blue, with green color. So now the N will be equal to 3, and you will see you can make more permutations. So the N and R, if they increase, you can make more permutations. If they decrease, number of permutations will decrease. You cannot make more permutations if N and R are limited. That's why these two variables will determine. So for example, in this situation, if N is 3, if I add green balls into this bucket, so now N will be 3, and here R will also be 3. For example, if I add one more boxes to the right side of this frame. So can you tell me how many permutations you can make? You know, it will take you a long time to determine, because first you will put blue, and maybe another blue, then red, and another red, maybe next green, and green. Then you can put red, blue, and green, and you saw it is getting complicated. So you don't have to worry about that. There is a formula which will immediately tell you how many permutations are possible. You don't have to do it experimentally or manually. You can just use that formula if you know the number N and R. If you know N and R, you can immediately find how many permutations are possible for any given situation. But just focus to pick the right value of N and R. So let's solve an example, and we can solve problems related to permutations. So first I want to tell you about the formula. So number of permutations possible under a situation is N power R. So once you know N and R, just use this formula, N, and make it to the power of R, and whatever you get, that is the number of permutations possible. And remember, we are talking about permutations, so I have written here that the repetition is allowed and order matters. Remember that there are two categories for each. For the permutations, we need to find if repetition is allowed, and of course if it is a permutation, order matters. So this is the case when repetition is allowed. So always remember that, because you have to have this condition if repetition is allowed or not, because if repetition is not allowed, you will have a different formula. So this formula is only applicable when repetition is allowed, and you need to have N and R for any given situation. So let's solve an example, and I will explain it further. So the example is, you want to set a security code for your mobile phone. You are allowed to enter a 4-digit code. So if you remember, in our old phones, we used to set a code to open the mobile phone, and there used to be restriction. For example, you can only enter a 4-digit code. You cannot have a longer code. For example, 5478910. No, you can only have 4-digit code. For example, 1234, or you can set it to anywhere, 5215, or maybe just 1111, or 1237. So you cannot have a longer code. Only 4 digits are allowed. So we want to know how many permutations you can make for the code. I mean, how many choices you have to set the code. For example, I give you the examples. So I want to know how many total permutations possible with this condition. You want to set a security code, and only the length of the code is 4 digit. So as usual, we need to find if repetition is allowed or not, because this is important. And second, if it is a permutation or combination. Of course, we are talking about permutations, and I have just told you the formula of repetition is allowed. So you may guess that yes, repetition is allowed, but you have to guess it sometimes from the question itself. When we set the code, for example, you know that I can set a code 1111. It means repetition is allowed. You will never find a mobile phone which will say you cannot set a security code with 1111. Although this is a weak code and anyone can break it, but it is allowed. You can set it. Similarly, I can set 4444. So we are familiar with our numbering system, and you can guess that repetition is allowed. So I can use this formula. Repetition is allowed. Secondly, if it is a permutation or not. To determine that, you are familiar with your numbering system. So you know that if I set a code 2112, then it doesn't matter. But if I set a code 1234, can I open your mobile phone if I enter a code 4321? No, I can't, because you know our numbering system is position sensitive. Order matters. For example, 12 is not same with 21. 21 is different. 12 is a different number. So our numbering system by nature is position sensitive. It means order matters. If order matters, it's a permutation. It's a permutation. If order matters, our numbering system is position sensitive. Similarly, we can also have repetition. We have a number, for example, this one. So repetition allowed and order matters. It's a permutation, and I can use this formula. I am telling you in the detail because sometimes in the question they will not tell you explicitly if repetition is allowed or not, or if the order matters or not. You have to guess it from the nature of the question itself. So let's go and solve it. First we need to find, so we know that the number of permutation should be n power r. So now we need to find what is n and what is r. I told you n is the total number of choices available to you or to pick up for you, and r is the size of the permutation. Okay, let me tell you immediately that r is easy to find. For example, they told you a 4-digit code, so you can have only a 4-digit code. It means the size of the permutation is 4. That is the limitation on you. So I tell you that r is equal to 4. But what is n? The total number of choices available to you. Let's see. Our numbering system consists of total 10 digits. The first one is 0. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Rest are the permutation of all of these choices. For example, tell me any number. Tell me any number and I will tell you. For example, you tell me 91. So 91 is the permutation of 9 and 1. So you tell me any number and you will see that all the digits are from this list. You can never use any other number out of this list because there is no other number available to you. So the number of choices n, the total number of distinct choices available to you are 10. So don't misunderstand this, that the total number of choices are 9. They are not 9. This is the digit 9. If you count the total number of choices, for example, the first choice, the second choice, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th. Total number of boxes are 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you have 10 choices. It means the n is equal to 10. I hope now it's very much clear because I am repeating it again and again so that you will get it. And r is of course 4 because the size of the permutation or the length of the code is 4 digit. So r is equal to 4 and n is equal to 10 in our situation. Once again, don't get confused with number 9 here and don't say that the n is equal to 9. No, this is the digit 9, the choice available to you. So always count the boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So total number of distinct digits available to you are 10. N is 10 and r is 4. I will just use the formula n power r. It means the n is 10, r is 4 and it is 10,000. So you can make 10,000 permutations with your mobile phone and with the given conditions. So it means if I steal your mobile phone and it is locked and I want to open it, I have to try 10,000 times to unlock your phone. Okay, the luck is different because if I start with certain number, for example, I try it 1, 2, 3, 4 and luckily it was your code and I can open it, that's a different case. But the 10,000 permutations are possible. You cannot make more permutations than this one. Let me give you another example. With reference to the above example, how many permutations you can make if you are allowed to enter only 2 digits, mean the length of the code is only 2 digits. Suppose it's a very old mobile phone and it asks you to enter a code for your mobile phone and you can only enter 2-digit code. So only 2-digit code. Can you tell me how many permutations you can make? It's easy now, right? Because n remains the same. You have the choices from 0 to 9. These are total 10 digits available to you and you can pick any one of them at any time. So the n remains 10, but now the limit that the size of the code is 2 digit. It means the size of the permutation or the r is 2. So it means 10 multiplied by 10, which is equal to 100. So if I steal your mobile phone and you set the code, a 2-digit code on it, I can easily unlock it by trying 100 times at most if I am unlucky. So I can make the combination. For example, I will try 01, 02, 03, 04 because you set 2-digit code 5, 06, 07, 08, 09 and then I will enter 10, then I will try 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So similarly I will just keep going and I will reach at 99. So if I am very unlucky, I will unlock your code at 99 at most and the total tries are 100. Remember that it's not 99 tries because the first one I will try is 0, 0. So that will be the first try if I go in a systematic way to unlock your phone. So the total number of tries will be 100. It is the same like when we had the number of choices 0 to 9, the total number of choices are 10. So this is how you calculate total number of permutations if repetition is allowed and it is a permutation, mean order matters. Before ending this section, I tell you that this formula is applicable anywhere where the repetition is allowed and you want to know how many permutations are possible. So let's go back to our initial example to verify that this formula really works. So here we have n equals 2 because we had red and blue balls. So n equals 2 and then we made a permutation of 2. The size of the permutation was 2. So n is equal to 2 and r was also equal to 2. So let's use this formula and see if it really tells us the value, because we know manually that we can only make 4 permutations from this configuration if n is equal to 2 and r is equal to 2. So let's see if this formula tells us the same value. So n is 2, r is 2, so 2 power 2, 2 multiplied by 2. Okay, so 4. Even this formula tells us that in such configuration, if you have only red and blue balls and you want to make permutations of 2, or size of the permutation is only 2, you can only make 4 permutations. So this formula is right? So you can use it for any number of permutations and configurations. So now here is my question for you, and you can take it as a homework. I tell you that suppose you want to set a code for your mobile phone, and this time you can set a code of 6 digits. Rest of the conditions are same. Can you calculate how many permutations are possible? Do you know that in some countries the ATM card has 6 digits to enter into the ATM machine if you want to get your money out, but in Pakistan we have only 4-digit code for the ATM machines if you want to withdraw the money. If you don't know what is ATM card, just ask your father or mother and they will let you know what is that. So an ATM card is a card which you will insert into the machine, and then machine will ask you to enter a code, which is of course secret code, and then you can withdraw money from your bank account. So in Pakistan we have only 4-digit code, but in some other countries it is 6 digits. And usually it is considered that if you set a longer code, mean the 6 digits, or maybe in the future they make it 8 digits, it is more secure. So if you have a code of 4 digits, it is not that much secure like if you have a code of 6 digits, or if you make a code of 8 digit, if it's possible, then it is even much more secure than the other two. So do you know the reason why if we increase the number of digits for a code, we say it is now secure? Do you know why? And can you think of any other way to make it secure? I mean, just not just increasing the number of digits in that permutation. Can you think of any other method to make it more secure than this one? Let's talk about permutations when repetition is not allowed. So, well, in that case, the number of permutations is equal to n factorial divided by n minus r, and then you have to take the factorial of this difference. You must know what is factorial, but let me remind you very quickly that 3 factorial mean start from 3 and then multiply and go backward, and the multiplication of all of these numbers is 6. This is actually 3 factorial. So whatever number you get factorial, you just go back in the backward direction and multiply each term until you arrive at 1. Anyway, your scientific calculator has a built-in function, so you can just do it with one click. Similarly, this formula has a special notation. We call it NPR. where P is for permutations. And I tell you something interesting so that you will always remember this formula. Here N, just consider, you know that what is N actually. It stands for the total number of choices you have, and R is the size of the permutation. But I just tell you something interesting so that you will never forget this formula. So if you assume that N is for no and R is for repetition. So it's easy to remember, right? Whenever you are dealing with a problem which is about permutations, P is there, and then they call you that no repetition is allowed. So N is there and R is there, no repetition. So you know this formula. Your scientific calculator must also have this built-in function, so you can do it with just few clicks. NPR. So whenever you are dealing a problem about permutations, repetition is not allowed, always use this formula NPR. Let's solve a simple example. There are two types of balls. One is red, other is blue. And how many permutations each with two balls we can make if repetition is not allowed in each permutation? Okay, so we are dealing with permutations. Repetition is not allowed. Formula is there, NPR. So just use it. The hardest part in these problems, this problem is way simple than you will face in your exams or textbooks. So the hardest problem is to find N, that what is N and then what is R, because rest is just mere simple mathematics. So in this example, for example, it says there are two type of balls. So N is 2 because one is red, other is blue. So distinct balls are 2, or the total number of distinct choices you have is 2. And R is the size of the permutations, and it is also given that how many permutations each with 2 balls. So R is also equal to 2. N is 2, R is 2, and now you have to use this formula because you know the repetition is not allowed. And of course they told you explicitly that it is a permutation. Sometimes they may not tell you, but they can only say order matters, so you can guess that it is about permutations. So N P R equals 2P2, and my calculator tells me that it's equal to 2. Well, okay, so it means I can only make 2 permutations. Let's see this problem with the help of these pictures. So you were given a lot of red and blue balls, and you make permutations out of these balls, and each permutation has a size 2. I mean, there should be 2 balls in each permutations. And you remember that when repetition is allowed, I can make 4 permutations. But if repetition is not allowed, which is the case in this example, I can make only 2 permutations. Because if repetition is not allowed, I can't make this one and 2 red balls, because the 2 same balls cannot come after each other in one. Okay, so the formula was right. We can only make 2 permutations if repetition is not allowed in this situation. So now it's your turn to solve this question. There are 3 balls. One is red, other is blue, and the third is yellow. How many permutations each with 2 balls we can make if repetition is not allowed in each permutation? Draw the diagram. So you are given 3 balls, so many balls, but with 3 different colors, red, blue and yellow. And you have to make permutations, and the size of the permutation is 2. So you can only make a permutation with 2 balls, not more than that. So calculate the number of permutations. Of course, repetition is not allowed. Don't forget that. Repetition is not allowed. So how many permutations you can make? First, try to determine the number of permutations manually by putting the balls in these boxes. Instead of balls, you can simply write, for example, if the first permutation is red and then blue ball, The next may be red and yellow. So you can fill a box like this to determine how many permutations you can make. And remember, never repeat any color in one permutation. And then use the formula we have just studied, that total number of permutations, if repetition is not allowed, is NPR. It's easy to remember, right? Just use your calculator. First determine what is N and what is R, and then calculate the number of permutations and see what do you find if both of your observations